Hello everyone. I'm putting this up here just to show YouTube that I am operating within the guidelines of fair use, which allows to use segments of material I do not own the rights for in order to criticize and express an opinion. Just as any democratic, free speech supporting platform would do. I'm not going to make any money out of this, and everything I upload here will be for the sole purpose of reviewing, critique, and expressing opinions about what's going on and what went on the Fully Living channel. Thank you. In the last two videos, I believe, Hadar is offering us an explanation for why they disappeared, why they went off radar for a while. And his explanation is more or less we needed a rest, we needed a break, and etc. But I'm going to offer an alternative meaning that could be read between the lines of this monologue that Hadar gives us. And it's important to me to do so because I just want to try and show you how I perceive things, which is a little bit different than what is actually said. I'm going to start with the mere fact that, first of all, we had about 6 months of, anywhere between 4 and 6 months of remodeling and DIY videos. So they didn't really go offline. They just decided to take the focus off the kids and go into this project thing that Andrea was going through. So that is not exactly taking a rest or taking a break. It's just removing the kids from the video, which is weird. I mean, think about it. So to me, there must be, or must have been, a different motive to removing the kids from the videos. I don't want to, try to elaborate on that. I'm going to let you think about it on your own and, I don't know, tell me what your opinion is. But it wasn't exactly taking a break because they needed some time to, as he said, hibernate. Not really.
In Israel, where we had come from for the last 10 years. We lived there for 10 years together. It was very, very flowy. We had a lot of expenses, a lot of things we used to do. We used to visit my kids' grandparents quite often. We used to go on trips very often. And
Yes. Hadar, I agree with you. Absolutely. When you go to the videos in Israel, you see that Andrea had to leave her comfort zone. She had to go out. She had to take the kids with her. She had to put them in school. I mean, at least Raphael. She had to go shopping. She had to do things on her own. She had to face the world. And that, believe it or not, was healthier for her. That's why she also looked better. She felt better. And going back to her comfort zone, which is somewhere in the bush of Florida, has deteriorated, in my opinion, the situation of every member of this family, especially her. And this is not by chance. This was actually, you could actually see it coming. Now, I'm not going to go into what is right or wrong for Andrea. She's an adult, she's a grown person. But when she was in Israel, she had to face her fears. And living in Israel also had rules and regulations that she couldn't get around. So there was things that she had to do that were mandatory for the kids. But Andrea, in my opinion, just wanted to do whatever she wanted. And that's why going back to her comfort zone in Florida, in a hidden away place, secluded, let her actually have the freedom to do whatever she wanted. And that is probably the worst enemy of people in general, because when you're in that situation, when you're not challenged at all, when you don't need to force yourself to face your fears in some way, then you become a slave to them. So you succumb to your fears, you succumb to your neurotic thoughts, to your mental difficulties, to your anxieties. You don't get the chance to grow from them, to treat them in any way, to challenge them in any way. And so they just get worse and worse and worse until they start affecting your body. And this is about two grown-ups, Andrea and Hadar. But the situation in this case is that you also have two kids, helpless, who have no choice. And then you drag those kids into that situation, and this is where I come in with my videos trying to show how wrong it is, in my opinion.
We've been taking everything at a very, very, very slow beat. Everything kind of almost froze for the last few months. Now that we have everything here pretty much, right? We got grandma close to us, 10 minutes away. Everything just almost came to a standstill where it's just, there's nothing.
There's nothing. You're right. There's nothing. It's pretty obvious, and it's been obvious, Hadar, on your videos that there is nothing. And me, for one, I'm not trying to judge you or anything, but it is kind of hard to comprehend how you can go from being a person with a full-time job, being in charge of people, having your skills and professional life way up there, to sitting at home day after day after day after day and, playing computer games. It's hard to fathom. But again, you're a grown person, you're an adult, you have a choice for your life. But this nothingness, when it comes to Raphael, who is a child with great potential, smart, intelligent, inquisitive, and this nothingness is a punishment for him, in my opinion. Why are you punishing him? I mean, I'm gonna make a video about the whole, COVID is still around and the virus is still around and all messages that you keep sending him, that it's dangerous out there, to a point where he's afraid to remove his mask until the moment he starts eating. So this instilling fear in him of the virus, now at the end of 2022, beginning of 2023, that is forcing him, gaslighting him really, in my opinion, to remain in this nothingness much longer than needed. And it's the same for Abigail. Abigail's situation is even worse because her need for therapy, in my opinion, again, and for socializing is enormous. And she lives in nothingness. The way she sat on that little round thing and said, "Oh, it's so great to be back home," you've succeeded. You've succeeded making her feel what Andrea feels. Fear of the outside. Feeling uncomfortable. Just being outside of her comfort zone, her little, very little small world. Are you proud of yourself? If you are, that's a problem. And even more, so frightening the kids that there is still a virus out there that is dangerous is not only, as I said before, gaslighting them into a false reality, but also, again, forcing a lifestyle on them to suit Andrea's fears. If she's so afraid of getting the virus, go get the goddamn vaccinations. It is clear today that the vast, vast majority of people who got the vaccinations will not die from the virus. So, also using this, I mean, let's be honest, COVID is not going to disappear, ever. It's going to be around, and the people who are in danger of death would probably be people who have a very, very low immune system functioning. And for different reasons, unfortunately, their body will not be able to withstand the powers of the virus. And this means what you're saying actually is that as long as it's still out there, the kids will never be let out to have a normal life, going to school, going to whatever. So that means that you're using this as an excuse, okay? As I see it, in my personal perception of it, you're using this as an excuse to keep them secluded and isolated, and it will never go away. So this is a perfect excuse. But let me remind you that much before COVID, this already was an issue. And Abigail never went anywhere children her age usually go without the virus. The virus didn't exist. And the same for Raphael. So let's not kid ourselves here. Now, last thing I want to say is, as far as I can see, the purpose of this video is to say, give me money. Now, it has already started working. And to be honest with you, I have no problem with that. If that's the way you choose to make your money, fine. It works for the kids as well. I mean, they need food, they need clothing, they need to have a comfortable existence, but they also need something more. They need socializing, they need to go out, they need to travel, they need to see kids, they need to stop being afraid of that virus, they need to be free to get out of the compound, to socialize with other children, to go to school, to learn, to develop their skills. They need so much more than that. So if you want to give money to this family right now, because they are definitely sending that message out, fine. But remember also that there are many people who want to see those kids flourishing, not living in the nothingness that you've created there. Thank you.